Okay, hello, we're live. Not really, but we're here. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is Toxis. Speaking of toxic things, we live in central Alberta. Canada, but particularly Alberta. And we are having winter.
A very whiteout blizzard, like a foot to 2 feet in the roads. We're playing Whose Lane Is It Anyway? Nobody knows how to fucking drive.
Yeah.
Like they forgot had Canada.
Yeah.
Again.
We probably got about a foot and a half of snow, and that's not counting the snowdrifts.
It's not stopping.
It's not stopping. It's not supposed to stop until, well, we're supposed to get it tomorrow, too.
2 hours south of us, there's an 80 to 100 car pileup on the highway, and the highway is closed because people are fucking retarded.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we live in, there's some parts of Canada that don't get a lot of snow. BC. Parts of BC get sometimes no snow.
The lower land is like flooded
right
now, though.
Yeah, that's terrible. Fucking good luck to all you people in the floodings in Canada and the States. But we get lots of snow in Alberta every year. Every year, we get lots of snow. And it stays.
Yep. And right now, we're on day one of the first 3-day blizzard.
And people tend to forget that they're in Alberta, that they're in Canada. Mostly all of Canada, except parts of BC, get lots of snow. So how do you forget to drive from year to year? Yeah. Hannah here. Let me tell you. Hannah's a good fucking winter driver. Okay? She's a pretty aggressive driver at the best of times, which is good because, you know, everyone to Hannah is going like 12 kilometers an hour.
Always.
Yeah, it's always 12. Why are you going fucking 12?
And I mean, if you're really not Canadian, that's only like 7 miles per hour.
Yeah. They're not going 12. They could be doing like fucking 40, but she's like, why are you going 12?
They're supposed to be going like 40, 35, 40 miles per hour, and they're going like 6.
In the city. Yeah.
And I'm like...
We had one of those today.
Fucking drive off the road, please. I had like 6 just coming from my apartment to yours. Mm-hmm. And I almost actually rear-ended somebody who wasn't signaling and was driving in 2 lanes.
Yeah, good idea.
And flipped
in
off
a big old winter storm.
Yeah.
But when we were on our way back here to her place, because that's where we do the podcast, because I have, my place is a zoo. I have 6 cats and a dog. We were on our way back, and this lady was in front of us, and so I'm going to preface this with Hannah having, what do you drive?
A Ford Explorer.
Yeah,
SUV.
So it's a nice big SUV, and it's gorgeous, great in the fucking snow, amazing in the snow. Sophia, her name is, yes. She deserves it because she's beautiful. But yeah, this chick in front of us and a little...
Chevy Cruze.
It was a
Malibu.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't think it was a Cruze, but yeah, she was in a Malibu, and she really was doing about 12.
And driving in 2 lanes.
Downtown, where the roads are the best downtown out of anywhere in town right now. And she was taking up 2 fucking lanes. So Hannah couldn't even get over to...
And I was going around her into my lane and flipped her off. And she flipped me off. And I'm like, you're the one who's
You're in the wrong
lanes. Like,
bitch.
I will get out of the car and fucking Jersey you and punch you in the fucking stomach.
And for any person that's not a hockey fan, Jersey you means haul your fucking jacket over your head and, you know, kick the shit out of you. Not kick, but punch the shit out of you. Yep. It's hockey talk. Fucking hockey talk.
Fucking awful. I ran into like 35 idiots in a 10-minute trip. Across maybe 20 city blocks back and forth.
Yeah. I don't worry when Hannah's driving because I know she's a fantastic driver. And her car is, SUV is fucking amazing. So I don't worry about it. And I'm one of those people, I don't drive myself at all. Never have. Don't ever want to. Because I have a fear of it. And I have, panic attacks and flashbacks at irregular fucking times and shit. So I don't want to do that. And I'm normally kind of scared in a car. But I'm not with Hannah.
Except when I'm driving.
So, I wasn't with my dad, and I'm not with Hannah. And my dad was a fucking fantastic. He was a very aggressive driver, too, like you.
Yeah, but there's a difference between aggressive and dangerous.
Yeah, she's not dangerous. She's just... And when I say aggressive, it's not necessarily her driving that's aggressive. It's her fucking mouth that's aggressive.
A little bit of both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, I think.
It reminds me of, remember John Travolta and Look Who's Talking? Pull over till the lewds wear off.
Right? Maybe you shouldn't have left a weed store parking lot, you fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, don't fucking light up a blunt before you start driving in this weather. We also just tried to... So I've been making bread I'm 50. I've been making bread for about 40 years. Hannah wanted vegan bread because she's weird.
Straight up. I'm just fucking weird.
Love you, but, you know. So she got almond flour. And almond flour ain't flour. That shit ain't shit.
It's more like goo.
It's fucking cornmeal, I'm telling you.
It doesn't work. So back to the drawing board. We're going to try to go to the store tomorrow and grab some different flour and try again.
Whole wheat, preferably.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards either whole wheat or chickpea.
Where does anyone find fucking unbleached flour nowadays?
I don't know.
Because my mom got it at the mill when we lived in Tyrone, Ontario, and that's a very old mill. So it's like the oldest mill in North America.
Over on the fucking Mayflower?
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, that was our day today.
Well, and yesterday, when you almost tried to fight that lady in the store who was being a cunt.
Oh, Walmart. She was being mean
full of herself
to Hannah. And you don't be mean to my people because I get angry. You can be mean to me, I don't give a fuck. But you don't be mean to my people because I get very angry. And
it makes sense. I had no idea what it was about.
I literally wanted to fight her. But I didn't because we have podcasts to do and I can't do it from jail.
Nope.
So, yeah. Anyway, flying off the handle a bit, Gen X and all that. So, today is going to be a rough one, my people. Our people. It's going to be a rough one.
The collective we.
Yeah. Yeah. If you listened to the last episode, you know that I said it was true crime concerning an entire country. And it's my beloved Canada.
Canada.
I love my country very much, but we have not been fucking angels throughout our history, let me tell you that. So today we are doing the Canadian Genocide. And mark my words, it truly was a genocide. And kinda still is, if you think about it. So are you ready for this, Hannah Banana?
I am.
Alright. So today we'll be discussing the residential schools in Canada. For those who only know or only recognize the whitewash version of these quote-unquote schools, let's get into it. They were set up by the Canadian government and the Catholic, Anglican, and United Churches as a means to bring Indigenous kids into, quote, civilized society. Just gross. Yeah. Children were forcibly taken from their families, sometimes even kidnapped, to be brought to these schools. Within these institutions, they would be systematically abused mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. In many, many cases, these children would be murdered by nuns, priests, and other church officials, and all this was sanctioned by the Canadian government. Sanctioned by the Canadian government. Just sit with that for a second. They were complicit.
But how many governments aren't?
Exactly. But
the government is not your friend, unfortunately.
No, not usually. Unless you live in, say, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, places like that. The government's your friend.
Yeah.
For the most part.
In many countries, the government is the enemy. They're not for the people.
No.
They control the people. They use the people. They kill the people. They test drugs on the people. They poison them. They torture them in the name of science.
We'll get into some of that too. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or TRC, was announced formally by the Canadian government in June of 2008. I'm sure this spawned hope for many residential school survivors. This hope, unfortunately, was short-lived. The commission was brought about by the stories and outcries of school survivors, and everyone thought that something would be done. Here are some excerpts from the TRC outline. The TRC shall not hold formal hearings, not act as a public inquiry, not conduct a formal legal process, not possess subpoena powers, does not have powers to compel attendance or participation, shall not make any findings or express any conclusion or recommendation regarding the misconduct of any person or the possible civil or criminal liability of any person or organization. This is all from Section 2, Establishment, Powers, Duties, and Procedures of the Commission, TRC, Ottawa, 2008. So what the fuck was the commission for then?
In 2008, I was 20 years old.
I was older.
Yeah, 32.
Yep.
I'm just saying for a point of reference, like this isn't...
Yeah.
I'm only 38 years old now, you're only 50 years old now. This was not very long ago.
38 years old, never kissed a girl. No, except you have.
I definitely have, more than one.
Yeah. That first one, though, was a doozy, let me tell you. That was a good kiss. I didn't kiss her. Let's just get that straight. It wasn't me. I put up a friend of mine to kiss her. Yeah. Oh, Ashley.
She was beautiful.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
That was funny because I went up to her and I'm like, Hannah's never kissed a girl? And Ashley was pretty much like, hold my beer.
It was like a hold my Tim's and you're fucking doing donuts in the blizzard?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We got distracted there.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay, so Hannah's going to read something here for you.
Starved of any alternative and commanded by their own state-funded leaders of the Assembly of First Nations, AFN, to participate in the TRC events, many Aboriginal survivors of the schools initially looked to the TRC to at least allow them the chance to publicly tell their story, but even that opportunity was denied to them at the TRC forums.
Yep. So I don't know what the TRC was actually for. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was... I don't know what it was.
I think it's safe to say, like every other fucking group that helps people, it's just fluff and publicity to get people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, but luckily, our Indigenous people will never shut up, and I love that about them, and I'm never going to shut up about it either, So what do you make of all of this? Self-serving, protecting their asses, protecting the despicable non-humans that perpetrated these atrocities on children? Fucking children. But I mean, this commission was formed and run by the same government and church that participated in these crimes. They had already omitted themselves from any kind of liability concerning these crimes. Would one call this obstruction of justice?
I guess technically, yeah. If you're looking at just the definition of it, then it definitely is.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that the three churches nominated the three commissioners that headed up the TRC didn't in any way show their partisanship, right? The churches nominated these three fools.
Oh, that's why. It's organized religion.
Yep. Then these three dudes were approved by the Privy Council in Ottawa. It's weird how this power imbalance of the TRC mirrored the actual residential school system. Coincidence?
I think not.
That's what I have right here. I think not.
Well, I was going to say methinks not.
Methinketh no. In essence, the government lawyers who made the TRC mandate made it so neither the government or the churches could be held accountable for their crimes. Also, all the records were censored so as to exclude evidence of crimes or even deaths at the schools. All evidence was censored.
So, it sounds like a little bit of a redacted fucking, what's that guy's name? USA pervert.
Trump?
No, the guy he was in cahoots with, the dead one.
Oh, Charlie Kirk?
No.
Who else was he in cahoots
The
with?
plane guy. With all the teenage girls.
Oh, Epstein.
Epstein.
Yeah.
Sounds like redacted fucking Epstein lists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dr. Neil Kruger, a South African scholar, went to 3 separate TRC events in 2011 and 2012. The top. Sorry.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking need that. Thank you. Thanks, Tips. I was disgusted by what we were all put through. I was barred from speaking straight off, and when I challenged this, I was threatened with physical expulsion from the hall. There were only a dozen or so actual survivors at the forum the day I was there, and they all looked miserable. They weren't honored or given any help or counseling or recognition at all, and they could only speak at the mic for a few minutes. But some fat cat Catholic bishop was given a half hour to spout his disgusting crap about how they were only trying to do good in the schools. At that point, an old lady who had gone to Cooper Island residential school started yelling out at the white church guy, "Stop lying, tell the truth." And TRC chairman Murray Sinclair stood up and yelled at her to be quiet and show respect to the bishop. Show respect to your rapist. And Sinclair is supposed to be a native. Mm-hmm. That old lady looked totally crushed. She looked like something had just been killed in her.
Isn't that awful? That's fucking disgusting. Oh, okay. The name Truth and Reconciliation was even stolen from South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation inquiry that delved into the crimes of apartheid. That means separating, much like segregation in the USA. Now, Indigenous people knew this commission was horseshit from the get-go, however.
Right.
They thought it could be a great forum to, at the very least, have their stories heard by the nation. Nope. Survivors were only allowed 10 minutes on the microphone, and their statements had to be vetted by the commissioners.
Oh, of course it had to be read over first. Are you sure we're not reading for Vietnam Radio right now?
Right. And remember, these commissioners were appointed by the government and the church, who would then omit anything referring to a crime or a death. However, government and church officials had no such restrictions put on them. Just fucking maddening. Now, there just happened to be a police presence at these TRC events. They were told to detain, quote, unauthorized speakers or protesters, which is horseshit because we have the right to protest. Unless you're in Alberta and under the rule of Danielle Smith, then you're not allowed to protest. The intimidation tactics, again, harken back to the actual residential schools. All of this bullshit made Judge Harry Laforme, the original head commissioner, quit the TRC proceedings just a few months in. He said it was because differences with his fellow commissioners. However, later, he said it was because he didn't want to compromise his position as a judge because of the, quote, questionable practices of the TRC officials. Somebody with a little bit of morals there.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. This is gross and I can't stand for it. Good for him.
Good for him, fucking A. Judge Harry Laforme was replaced by a Cree politician named Murray Sinclair from Manitoba. The TRC then began holding events across Canada. These events were labeled, quote, truth-telling forums. Okay.
But their speeches have to be vetted first and they're not allowed to tell the truth, though.
Yep.
So that doesn't really make sense.
So it was only the truth as seen by the church and the government that was allowed to be told, which wasn't truth at all.
Rose-colored glasses, we think?
Mm-hmm. A few dozen pairs, I think. However, everything a survivor divulged was not recorded in any open public record. In reality, their stories were kept in a private archive, and the copyright of every statement then became the property of the government. So they weren't even allowed to retell those fucking stories.
That's interesting.
Every TRC employee, along with every employee from the churches that ran the school, were required to sign confidentiality agreements that legally forced them to keep quiet about any and all TRC dealings.
NDAs.
Mm-hmm. John Malloy from Trent University was chosen as a TRC researcher because of his faithful compliance in previous research studies done concerning Indigenous people of Canada. However, he did once admit in June 2003 that children were buried 2 or 3 to a grave at the Anglican Church School in Brantford, Ontario. 2 to 3 to a grave. What does that sound like? To me, that sounds an awful lot like Nazi Germany, but this was before Nazi Germany. So, and we're gonna.
This is June 2003.
No, that when the kids were buried, it was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that Nazi Germany a little bit more later on too.
Please God, can we?
Yeah. A brief synopsis. Number 1. Crimes and murders committed against kids in the residential schools were sanctioned by the Canadian government, churches, and the RCMP. They told us these schools were for education and religion, but in reality, it was a campaign to rid Canada of Indigenous peoples, particularly aimed at Western Indigenous nations. Legally and by definition, this was genocide. Number 2, the culprits were the Canadian government, the Vatican, the Crown of England, and Catholic, Anglican, and United Churches. Number 3, during the 107-year existence of these schools, was anyone reprimanded or charged with crimes? In fact, the perpetrators were protected by the church and the government. To this day, no one has been brought to court for anything.
There's been no action at
Nothing.
all whatsoever.
Nope.
Why does that not surprise me? We're too busy worrying about putting fucking LGBTQ flags up and
I don't mind that either, but you can do more than one thing at a time. Like,
I just feel like we're not focusing on the real problems and we're distracted by surface level feelings.
Well, they probably do that to distract us too, so.
Surface level feelings.
Yeah.
If we dangle this in front of you and you all fight each other about it, you won't pay attention to what's really going on.
Exactly. Number 4, in 1889, when the first schools opened, Indigenous children were being murdered at an alarming rate. The death rate at the schools was 10 times higher than the reservations from which they'd come. 10 times higher these children were dying than if they had been left at home. This death rate continued for another 50 years, and this was all while getting constant complaints from visiting doctors that inspected the schools. Number 5, in 1903, the massive mortality rate went public, so the government just stopped publishing any and all death records, but kept killing. Number 6, there were so many deaths because healthy children would be housed and with kids sick with tuberculosis, then denied any medical treatment. This was all done by design, by the way. Also, the children would be denied food, proper clothing, and sanitation was poor at best. All this coupled with beatings, rapes, torture, and outright murder continued for over a century. Number 7, in 1920, there was a legal mandate that said all Indigenous children must attend a residential school. That same year, all medical inspections of the schools ceased. That's disgusting. No more medical inspections.
Who sanctioned that?
The government.
Of course.
Number 8, during the 1920s, laws were passed across Canada regarding the schools. Number 1, any residential school attendee could be subject to involuntary sexual sterilization. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was happening in Africa and other places too, wasn't it?
Nazi Germany did it to Jews.
They did it too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And this is in 1920, by the way.
Okay, yeah, so back in the same era of everybody's trying to kill everybody.
Number 2, Native people were not allowed to hire a lawyer or bring a case before a judge. Yeah. Number 3, the churches became the legal guardians of any and all children attending the schools. So their parents couldn't even go and try to take them out or anything because they had no right to them anymore.
Well, being somebody who has to deal with Indigenous people at my job that have been through this,
Mm-hmm.
and grandmothers and people that have survived the schools, I can help them as much as I can, but holy fuck, the things that they've told me, the things that they went through, it was like, well, my life doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
Yeah. It's also systemic too. The abuse, the addiction, it's really hard. When it's so systemic like this and so long lasting for, generations, it's so hard to get away from it. So hard to break the cycle.
Well, and the ones that do, though, are treated really badly.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah, there was still extreme, by pretty much everyone in Canada, there's still extreme fucking racism against Indigenous people in Canada.
No, but I'm talking about racism towards the Indigenous people trying to get out of that life.
Mm-hmm.
The people who don't want to get out of it and continue. Like, they're hateful and racist against their own people who are trying to change and trying to get out of it and trying to get
Well, that's like anybody in addiction too, though. Like, they're going to be so fucking hate-filled and everything because they hate themselves for doing what they're doing. So, yeah.
It's so hard.
Yep. Number 9. Over the 107-year history of the schools, no one has ever had any disciplinary action against them. No one has been charged with sexual assault, physical assault, or, despite eyewitness statements, murder. Nothing has been done about the deaths and or disappearances of at least 66,000 children. 66,000 children. Again, sit with that number. Number 10, the Catholic, Anglican, and United Churches, all responsible for the horrors in the schools, are, to this day, still supported by Canadian taxpayers and are basically immune from any punishments thanks to the good old Canadian government. Totally immune from any punishment.
Thank God we're not Americans, otherwise we'd probably be banned right
now. Yeah. Number 11, no other nation or even the United Nations has ever charged Canada with genocide, despite the schools committing the 5 definitions of genocide as per the United Nations Convention on the Prevention of Genocide circa 1948 and endorsed by Canada in 1952.
And just in case anybody doesn't know what genocide is, it is recognized as crime defined as specific acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethical, racial, or religious group.
You know, what Israel's doing to Palestine right now. What the Nazis did to the Jews. It's happened all through history. What Genghis Khan did to everyone else.
What about Americans?
Coming over? Right now it's happening in America too. Anyone with brown skin.
Dogs. Yeah, even if they're American citizens.
Yep.
It's like, what?
Yep.
Why? And it's almost 2026. Racism shouldn't even exist anymore. I don't understand.
No, it shouldn't.
I can't even begin to understand.
But hate will never go away. So the United Nations Convention on the Prevention of Genocide, these are the 5 things in it. I don't have the word for it. A, killing members of the group. B, causing serious bodily or mentally harm to groups of the group, to members of the group. C, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions like calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Number D, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. E, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. That's what Canada agreed to, but what Canada was actively doing. They agreed to not do any of this shit.
But we're just doing it anyway. And there's no consequences.
And other countries could have brought them up on crimes against humanity charges, but they still haven't. So, number 12, the Canadian government and the churches have obstructed justice this whole time by destroying records, silencing witnesses and whistleblowers, destroying mass graves, and making up a false narrative about the residential schools. This was done, in part, by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And finally, number 13, the genocide of Indigenous people in Canada is still happening today by means of keeping them impoverished, taking their lands and profiting from them in the process. Profiting from them would be like the oil sands and, lands where there's lots of mining and stuff like that. In my opinion, these schools were just as bad as Nazi concentration camps. Why haven't the nuns, priests, and government officials been hunted down and brought to justice? If Adolf Eichmann could be found, then these monsters can be found too. My heart aches for the thousands of children that were murdered in cold blood by assholes who follow God, quote unquote. And people wonder why I choose to worship the earth. Pardon me. I want no part of a God that sanctions brutality like this. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Thank you. All of the survivors of these so-called schools have it the absolute worst. The memories, the trauma, both personal and generational, is absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah, like I said, I listened to their stories. I helped them. I worked through problems with a lot of people like this.
Yeah. A friend of mine, Jolene, if you listen to this, hello, girlie. She was in a residential school.
I can't even imagine.
She's younger than me.
Wow.
The last one closed in 96.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was 9.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Isn't that interesting?
That's gross.
Indigenous people need justice. It should be a legal requirement. We need more people of all colors, faiths, and countries to stand with our Indigenous brothers and sisters and demand justice and change, because it's true. Every child matters. Let's take a quick look at the foundation that residential schools were built on. It all started with the Roman Empire. Their idea was to conquer their enemies, and in the process, they would kidnap the children and reprogram them, in a sense, to their own ideals, gods, etc. The kids would then be incorporated into the empire and become enemies of their former nation. This is known as selective redemption. This form of warfare? What? This form of warfare always proved to be successful, as they would strike at the weakness of the nation, its children. The Nazis did this too. Then, of course, the Roman Empire was encompassed by the Catholic Church, and forcing their religion became the driving force of the Vatican and virtually every European nation.
Of course they're going to target
Britain,
children.
we're looking at you.
Children are the easiest to mold.
Yep.
Like that Alberta 764 group.
Yep.
Yep.
764 is all over the world.
Yeah, but it's literally right around the corner from us. It is right down the street. It's not like this is happening
fucking
in
everywhere.
Germany. It's literally on your doorstep everywhere you go now.
Yeah. Actually, a dude just got busted for being in that group in Australia, eh?
Yeah,
in Sydney, I think.
Young children,
Yep.
because they're easily impressionable, and they want to make you proud. And they want to be fawned over, and they're so easy to mold.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking sick fucks.
It is sick.
From then on, anyone who wasn't Catholic was deemed to have no soul and no rights of any kind. Therefore, they had to be conquered and obliterated. That is, unless you were willing to be baptized as a Catholic. Then you got to live and be a slave.
Oh, super.
Yay. With this practice, it was thought that both the conqueror and the conquered benefited from genocide.
If I wanted to be a slave, I'd get married.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, thank you.
Pretty fucking much. Way further back than that. In 1543, the Jesuit order was formed. This was a militant group designed to obliterate any and all who opposed the Pope. Now, I thought God was all about peace and shit like that. I thought religion was supposed to be all about peace. Why in the fuck would you need a militant group? Why would you need a militant group? Can't you just send in monks to try to talk them into the way of the Lord? No, you can't. You can't do that, because everyone's going, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I know if a monk came up to me and was like, hey man, you should, probably believe in God, I'd be like,
well, that's what they
no, thank you.
Jehovah's and the Mormons to your door. Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, but the Jesuit order was a militant group. So if we can't talk you over to the quote-unquote good side, we'll force you. Exactly. This group used a classic ploy to decimate their enemies, divide and conquer. This ploy was actually used in Canada when Jesuits, however the fuck, I don't care how you say it, these assholes, gave some Catholic chiefs muskets and smallpox blankets to obliterate their pagan brethren. Then the Jesuits would claim all the Indigenous youth and, quote-unquote, re-educate them in the ways of the church. That way, these future papal warriors could decimate the rest of their own former nation.
What's his name, John Smith?
He was one of them.
Jesus.
In the 19th century, Western Canadian Indigenous peoples refused to bow down to these Catholics. Fucking A, right? I put fucking Bravo here, but fucking A is way more Canadian. About the only Europeans in the West were Catholic missionaries. The land was pretty much unsettled, quote-unquote, unsettled according to the Europeans, quite settled to the Indigenous people whose land we are literally on. One of these missionaries was a Jesuit named Paul Deroux. He came up with a prototype for what would eventually be residential schools. Deroux converted a few Salish, I'm not sure how you say it. I'm going to say Salish Indians that lived on the coast, then pitted them the west coast, so that would be BC for anybody who doesn't know Canada very well. Then Deroux claimed the children and brought them to camps run by the church. These youths were known as watchmen, and they were prompted to spy on each other and dole out punishments for anyone not practicing Catholicism.
Yuck.
In a report Deroux sent to his superiors in Montreal in 1868, he said, quote, "It is remarkable how soon our young acolytes have learned to root out heresy and impiety within their own families and discipline the recalcitrant." Unquote.
Yuck.
Interestingly, that same year, smallpox killed 90% of the Chilcotin, I hope I'm saying that right, Indians by means of inoculations given by John Sheepshanks with the help of the Church of England. They were literally injecting native people, indigenous people,
a vaccine, but it was actually
with smallpox. Yep, they were lying to them. So fuck you, John Sheepshanks, and fuck the Church of England. Deroux's superiors were quite impressed with his work. So impressed, in fact, that they utilized the same system within their new Indian residential schools. Soon, the Protestants jumped on board, and not long after, so did the Canadian government. Thus, the horror began. During the first year that the schools were open, over half of the children died. For example, the Fort Capel Residential School saw 7 of its 13 students were dead or dying in 1896, its first year. 7 of 13. This was in the prairies where the Indigenous people were still steadfast in their freedom. Incidentally, the mortality rate among the prairie reservations back then was about 5% per year, compared to the over 50% in most of the schools. All this death was the exact ideology of the Catholic Church. If they won't assimilate, kill them.
That doesn't surprise me.
That is part 1.
Fun fact, I was baptized Roman Catholic in St. Anne's Church on Fort William Reservation.
Really?
My first boyfriend was Indigenous. His family hated me.
Because you were white? Or
My grandparents wouldn't even let him in the house. If he wanted to come and see me when I had to stay with my grandparents, he was only allowed to sit on the step with me. He wasn't even allowed to come inside. And his family hated me too. So
wow. So much
it was a struggle.
Divisiveness. I don't like it. That's the church. That's the government. I just wish people would wake up to religion and what it does to people. It just causes divisiveness.
Well, what was that quote we saw the other day?
That's
if you convince 100 people, it's a cult, but if you convince 1 million, it's a religion.
Yep.
Or something like
that. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it pretty good. Yeah. And it's true. It's true. Fucking Islam, I think, has the most members or believers or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So I guess that's the biggest cult in the world right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, common quotes and ideas on religion. This one's Frank Zappa. The only difference between a cult and a religion is the amount of real estate they own.
Yep.
This one is Rakesh Khurana. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The difference between a cult and a religion is one outlasts its leader.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One person's religion is another person's cult. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, I love him. Great actor. Gone too soon.
This one is Sam Harris. The only difference between a cult and a religion are the numbers of adherents and the degree to which they are marginalized by the rest of society.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is attributed to Susan Palmer, it says. I'm not sure what that means. The best quote I've ever heard regarding this question is, the difference between a cult and a religion is what happens when you try and leave.
Yep, exactly.
But that wasn't the one I was actually looking for. But I think the one was,
But those were good quotes, and they fit with this
with
this rhetoric. So
yeah,
I don't know how these religions started. I mean, we know that Jesus was a real person because he does have descendants. We found that out from DNA. But I'm pretty sure he didn't walk on water. I'm pretty sure he didn't change water into wine. Because no one can do that, and that's really far-fetched, and anyone who believes that, I mean, I think you should go probably seek some kind of psychiatric help.
Well, and just for the record, I'm baptized Roman Catholic. I'm not a practicing Catholic.
Oh, no, she's...
Not at all.
No, she might burn up if she enters a fucking Roman Catholic church. I know I would.
The water, it hurts my forehead.
Yeah. I actually went to there's a Catholic church here in town, of course, and I went to a funeral there from a chick that I worked with. Her husband died when I worked with her at Walmart, and I was so fucking uncomfortable in there.
Well, you also went to Sacred Heart Church for my son's graduation.
Yeah.
And he stood up at the podium and spoke. Oh,
that was so cute, too.
He did so good.
Little boy. But when it was a female priest, eh? Yeah. It was a chick priest, wasn't it?
No.
Was it a dude? Oh, it was a dude, yeah. I'm thinking of somebody else's funeral now. It was a chick priest. The priest was up there, and he's like, bow your heads and close your eyes and shit. And I just sat there staring at him. And he kept looking at me real uncomfortable, like. I'm just watching him, like, yeah, good story, bro. Yeah.
Love that story.
I refuse to bow my head and close my eyes for bullshit.
I just wanted to give him the opportunity to experience everything and make his own choices.
Oh, for sure.
He liked religion when he was smaller, but now as he gets older, he's like, nah, this isn't really for me. But he's just finishing up because he doesn't want to leave his friends now. But I wanted him to have the opportunity to make his own choice if he wanted to be religious or didn't. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
He really loved Jesus when he was little. And he loved to tell me all these stories when he came home from Catholic preschool and stuff. And it made him really happy. Now he hates it. So I'm like, whatever, you do you.
Yeah.
Don't matter. I just wanted you to have freedom of choice.
Exactly. On that note, I did the same thing with my kids when they got old enough. I said, you need to research everything and make up your own mind when they were like in their teens. And they did. Both of them did. And both of them came to the conclusion that I don't really believe in that stuff. Now, Hunter the other day came out and told me that he's leaning a little bit closer to Christianity. And I
what?
I said,
fucking what?
I said, okay. He loves the history of religion. He loves the not so much the spiritual side of it, but just the history, I guess. The history of religion. He likes that. So he came out and said that to me, and he goes, would you hate me if I became a Christian? And I said, no. Of course not. I said, Hunter, you'd have to do something awfully fucking bad for me to hate you, dude. You're my kid.
That's like you hating me for being vegetarian, slightly more vegan than a meat eater now.
Yeah, I just think you're weird.
Down your throat. I made stir fry yesterday for us, and I made pork chops for his.
Did you guys finish that stir fry?
No, there's still some.
Because I want to try it. I want to have a bite of it.
Yeah.
Especially that edamame.
Yeah.
Never had that before. But yeah, so Hunter came out and said he's sort of leaning toward Christianity. And I said, Hunter, you know, I don't begrudge anyone what they want to believe in.
No, but you just can't stuff it in everybody's face, though.
It just pisses me off how divisive it becomes. Like, families are cut off from families.
Or the excuses made to harm people.
Yes.
Or to, like, destroy other countries.
It breaks my heart more than anything.
Like, oh, because God. We're fighting for God. We're killing people for God.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me.
The amount of wars in the name of
religion.
Of Christ in Jerusalem and Israel being split in two, constantly fighting. Muslim over Christian. Like, no.
Not to mention
Stop it.
The fucking genocide of women over history in the name of God. The witch trials.
Yes.
Just so many things. Look what's happening in the States right now.
Scenario.
They're taking control of women's bodies.
Again.
In the name of God. And it doesn't say anything about fucking abortion or anything like that in the fucking Bible. So give me a break. You guys are just terrified of women, and you want to try to keep us down because we are more powerful than you. You're trying to keep us down, and it ain't working anymore. That's why there's this quote-unquote male loneliness epidemic. Yeah. You're not fucking lonely enough yet.
Bullshit.
Anyway.
We don't want to deal with your bullshit. That's
nope.
why. Like
we really don't.
I think it was in the last few months that North Dakota completely reversed the ability for women to have abortions, and it's 5 years in jail and up to $10,000 of fines if you're caught doing it.
Yep. In
so
some states,
going
it's
back to the times where they're going to do back alley ones and going to risk death. I'm like, it doesn't seem appropriate to me. Like, what if I lived in North Dakota and I was raped by an Uber driver?
Doesn't matter.
And I was pregnant. I don't want to carry a rapist's baby, but you're going to put me in jail and fine me because I don't want to?
I'll go you one better. In some states now, if a woman gets raped and goes somewhere else to have an abortion or something, the rapist and his parents can come after you for money. They can sue you.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Yep. Fucking disgusting.
I'm just saying, euthanization solves a lot of problems.
I think that if you don't want any mistaken pregnancies or abortions and stuff like that, how about having young boys at the age of, when do they start having sex? Say 14?
I don't know.
13, 14 years old?
Maybe.
Whatever. Make them have, what is it called when they get snipped? What is that called?
Vasectomy?
Vasectomy. That can be reversed.
Vasectomy? Yep.
That can be reversed. So let's do that to them. And then you don't have to worry about any unwanted pregnancies. For the most part. I mean,
what I did.
Some of them slip through.
Condoms.
But now they're trying to get rid of birth control now too.
Ew, why?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah. Because I just want women barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
No.
That's the woman's place, don't you know?
Get fucked.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
For another time.
Yeah.
We're way out to lunch.
Yeah, that's
so distracting.
Calm down, Stace. Calm down. So yeah, that was part-time. That was not English at all.
I think it was part one.
Yeah, not ton. I don't know what that means. That was part one of Canadian Genocide. As for right now, there is 2 more parts coming, and a lot of it is fucking heart-wrenching, so get your tissues out.
I'm sure it's only going to get lovelier. Part 1 of 3, and then part 2 will be Wednesday.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So on that note, after that fucking rambling ending there and bitching about men, and can I just say, we're not talking about all men, because it truly is not all men.
Nope.
It's just we don't know who's who if we just see ya, you know? But anyway, yeah, you could, and women, boy moms out there, start teaching your sons better, okay? Hold them accountable. Your little boys are not perfect. Hold them accountable.
You whoop their asses.
You whoop their asses. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
My son will attest to you that I whoop him quite good.
Yep.
Not
fucking
physically.
Black moms and Hispanic moms,
Yeah.
they got the right idea.
You don't fuck around.
No, they got the right idea,
look
man.
at your mom the wrong way. Even if she's turned the fuck around, she's gonna whoop your ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she'll throw shoes at you and shit. I seen one woman kick her fucking foot up,
with that shoe
catch
right
her
in
shoe
hand,
and
like
hit
a
her
ninja.
kid.
Like a fucking
I was like,
ninja.
wow. We're best friends now. Okay, on that note, is there anything you would like to add, Hannah?
No, I don't think so. I would say my standard thanks for tuning in today. We explored, and I'd have a bunch of funny shit to say, but I really don't, because we explored only one section of all of the terrible things that happened to residential schools to Indigenous children in this country.
Yep.
So there's plenty more atrocities to come in part 2 and 3.
Ugh.
So yeah, very somber day. I definitely, being someone whose very first love was Indigenous and who I still see every year for Christmas, even though we broke up 20 years ago.
That's cool.
I'll probably see him and have coffee with him when I go back now. And
That's awesome.
He's a very successful, wonderful person and a wonderful family man and a spouse and a dad. So
tell him Stacy says hey.
Yeah.
He doesn't know me from Adam, but
if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, follow, and drop us a like. If you would like to help fund our toxicity, jump on over to ko-fi.com/toxispod.
Do it. Then we can get better fucking equipment, man.
And I won't say next week we'll be discussing, because 3 days from now you're going to get part 2 of this atrocious story. So don't miss it. And as always, we will see you then, baneful brethren.
We fucking love you guys. Bye.